Well, previously in these filmings, we've talked about the drama that is the Real Housewives of Auckland. The real drama that's happening around the world at the moment, and it is kind of handbags at 40 paces, is Donald Trump versus Hilary Clinton. Lots going on in the American election at the moment, Lisa.
Yeah, I've got a bit of election fatigue, actually. I'm as tired as Hilary is of this.
Really?
Yeah, stifles yawn. I can't stand it anymore.
Have you had pneumonia?
I feel if I watch any more of Trump, I will get it.
Well, let's have a look at something that happened in the last 24 hours. Donald J. Trump Jr. Has sent out a tweet talking about Syrian refugees. That's quote screen number 15 there. Let's have a look at that, Tim. And this is what he says. He says, if you had a bowl of Skittles and I told you that just 3 would kill you, would you take a handful? That is our Syrian refugee problem. Make America great again. Make America great again. Which, of course, is utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
100, if you've got 100 Skittles and 3% of, you know, it's a ridiculous analogy.
Yeah,
and also the other
and
Skittles...
And a revolting little snot is what he is.
And the other Skittles that happen to be also in the bowl that aren't poisonous, they haven't been living a life of war-torn horror that they're trying to run away from either.
Yeah.
So it's getting a lot of press in the last 24 hours. And
what has the Trump come out and said about it?
Well, they double down. That's your typical from Trump. They double down. They look at the events of New York in the last wee while, and the events in New York have nothing to, this is the bombing, sorry, we're talking about, in the last week or so, have nothing to do with immigration.
But they're spiking his popularity?
Yeah, of course. So, but they're pointing to that as someone who was born outside of America, because apparently if you're born outside of America, you're evil, especially if you've got brown skin. And if you're born inside of America, you are pure and good and natural and wholesome, and you want to make America great again.
And you're not a Skittle, you're a Mars bar.
Yeah,
probably.
something like that. But you're right. So let's have a look at the stats at the moment around polling, because you've said it spiked his interest. If you have a look at this poll, these polls were just out today, excuse me, and we only got 2 for you because there are only 2 nationwide polls were out today, and one of them had Hillary up by 5 and the other one had Trump up by 5. So we said this last week, especially after the events of Hillary and her pneumonia and falling over at the 9/11 commemoration, that she looked weak and she looked old and frail and she looked sick, and perception is reality sometimes. And I think that on top of the bombings in America, the New York bombings, probably have given Trump a bit of groundswell, and I think we're in the high 40s, 48, 49 days away.
I think it's only with the people who are already keen on him, because he made a real buffoon of himself by presenting his health records in the wake of her pneumonia. You know, not only does he have the best words, he's got the best heart and the best lungs and the best everything else.
And the best brain.
And the best
that was my favourite. I've got the best brain.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Yeah. And use the best words.
So anyone else that already thinks that he's an idiot is just nodding their head and knowing he's more of an idiot than ever.
And finally, one thing to look at with these, what's happening at the moment in the cycle, is there is a woman called, and I'll get the name right, Harrington Townsend, and you hear the name Kennedy.
Yeah.
She is the daughter of RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, and she was the former Maryland Lieutenant Governor, so she's in the political scene. She paid a visit to, I guess, the left's old nemesis, George H.W. Bush, Herbert Walker, so from 1991, and she put this post on her Facebook page where she has said very clearly that she had a chat with Mr. Bush, and he told her that he is voting for Hillary.
Says it all.
Which has put a bit of a cat amongst the pigeons, a Republican president who is going to be voting for the Democrat, because that's just how bad that old Donald J. Trump is.